Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Self-Care Sunday. And you already know what I'm going to say. Take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anyone else. Welcome to TKTV. I'm your host, Tracy Knight. I put the TK in TKTV. And as you know, we're all going through a transition because of the whole TikTok ban. And so some of the videos and postings that I would do over there, a lot of us are going to be transitioning to our YouTube channel, TKTV. So I have something that I'm going to upload, that I'm uploading, that you guys are seeing like right now. But I'm going to also put it in my playlist, the Kountry Wayne playlist. So if you're Kountry Wayne fans, you already know. And I got questions. So come on, sit down. Have a moment of relaxation until I get started, and then y'all, because I got questions and I'm gonna need your answers. Okay, if you're not a fan of Kountry Wayne yet, I implore you to go ahead to @Kountry Wayne Official. Start watching the videos. It's gonna pull you in. Kountry Wayne, you know what you're doing. I personally am obsessed. I'm admitting it, obsessed with the Amber, Anthony, and Shayla line. Okay? Most of the videos you see in my playlist are dealing with them. Okay? And I'm branching off to some other people because there's a lot of people in Kountry Wayne's world. But that's the line that I am, really focused on. So, I say that to say this. I came in on the Kountry Wayne Skits right around when the characters Anthony and Amber, they were going through something in their little relationship, and it kind of drew me in because I wanted to know what happened. I was nosy. I wanted to know what happened. And I saw a couple of videos where Amber, the wife, was at Rose's house, the ex-girlfriend, with her husband Anthony answering Rose's door. So, talking about she wanted to fight for her marriage. She loved him, yada, yada, boom, boom, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I knew that there was a connection between Ro and Anthony, especially, prior relationship issues. And, she's got his back. She's his friend or whatever. Put a pin in that. And she's there for him while he's going through whatever with Amber. So, eventually they get back together and life goes on, right? So when you fast forward to where we are now, and like I said, I came in at that point. So I did not know a lot of the stuff that had happened in the past before then, right? And I may have skipped a few episodes after that because it just tweaked my interest, but not enough for me to go looking for it, okay? Like I do now. I ain't gonna lie. It's good. Y'all gotta get into it. Anyway, so the one thing that I was continually hearing about in the lives that we were doing on the TikTok app, and some of the posts that I would see, they were always referring to Rose's wedding and what Anthony did at Rose's wedding. Now, I later found out that he stopped the wedding talking about he loved her, this kind of, he did something really embarrassing and chaotic at her wedding. I had not seen that skit. I had not seen that skit until today. Y'all, I got questions on top of questions on top of questions. But let me tell you what happened. Just in case you didn't see it, just like I didn't see it, I'm going to try to fill you in. Okay? The setting is the church. Ro is coming down the aisle with Wayne in this red jacket. Okay? Look at I, but it's red. And Ro is looking beautiful in her dress. Makeup is chef's kiss. And there's a smattering of people. I mean, maybe she's just small, intimate. Okay? But she's coming up the aisle. And they talk, the pastor's talking about reunions and these two people getting back together because apparently they had some issues and broke up, and now they're back together and they're getting married. Yay! So they get to the point where they're going to exchange vows. Malachi says what he says about how he missed her. She was his rib. He was missing her. Glad to know that she was back. Showed him a kind of love he didn't, da 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 da. So she says her vows, and he's her Boaz and everything else like that. Beautiful, beautiful vows. And the pastor had already said the part, if there's anybody here who think these two should not get married, say so now and forever your peace. No one stood up. No one said anything, right? But they kind of flashed over to Anthony, who's sitting next to his wife, Amber. I got a question about that too. Amber, they're sitting together, and Anthony's looking like, I kept expecting him to jump up because he had this look on his face, but he didn't get up. They said their vows, And then they put on the rings. And then they turn to him so he can do the pastor, so he can do the rest of the ceremony or whatever. And this is when this troll, Anthony, stands up. And he said, I'm sorry, I just can't let you do this. Ro, I can't let you do this. And everybody's like, what? And Amber, his wife, is sitting next to him like, and he goes, Ro, I love you. With his wife sitting right, okay, Amber sitting right there. Wasn't like she didn't make it to the wedding. She was sitting right there when he stood up and said, Ro, I love you. I can't let you do this. I love you. Pretty much almost like the whole scene in A Different World when there was Dwayne Wayne and I just remember her name is Jasmine Guy. Whitley. We're getting ready to get married, and he stopped that wedding. Yeah, that's along the lines of that. And Ro's like, what are you doing, Anthony? Malachi's like, bruh, and ready to fight and everything. And everybody's like, what? And there's some guys that started pulling Anthony back, and he's still hollering, I love you, yada, yada, yada. And Amber's up now. She's mad. Okay. First of all, I don't know if that's the kind of dress she should have wore to the wedding, because it was heart-shaped here, but you had to, and she's like, I can't believe y'all was doing this. Dude, you been in my house for so-called business meetings and y'all was messing around them. And Rose like, no, I don't know what's going on. And she's telling Malachi, I don't know what's going on. It's a mess. It's a chaotic mess, right? They finally get Anthony out of the church, who's still saying, bro, I can't let you do this. I love you. I can't let you that kind of stuff, right? They get him out of the church. Rose looking at Malachi. She's like, I don't know what's wrong with him. Let's just finish the ceremony, and we can talk about this when we get home. Which is one of the things I like about being grown folks and reuniting. You know what I'm saying? Because you going home to the same house y'all probably left that morning. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So, he's like, she's like, because let's just talk about this. No, ain't no talk about this when we get home. This is what he was saying, right? And so Wayne is looking at Amber, Anthony's wife, the one who just professed his whole love for that whole other woman at her wedding. Anywho, he said, you know what? Go get your husband. Just go get she said, go get my husband. Right? And he's like, yeah, just go get your husband, because I don't know what's going on, but, just go get him. He just needs to. So she's upset, of course. She walks out. And then Malachi's upset, and he's like, ain't no wedding happening today. It's done. I'm done. No, he walks out, right? He really want to go get Anthony, but he just walks out. Rose like, Malachi. People are calling him, Malachi, Dad, Malachi, all this. He ain't coming back. Ro turns around. She's looking at everybody, and she's looking at her bridesmaids. She's like, this wasn't me. I didn't do this. She's upset. Understandably. Okay. Bridesmaids, maid of honor or whatever, they take her off to the other room. She's crying and screaming and everything else. Like, hot mess. Then Wayne is standing in front of the crowd and said, obviously there's not gonna be a wedding today. I'm sorry, nobody anticipated this was gonna happen, but there's not gonna be a wedding today. Looks out in the crowd, somebody got a phone. He said, yo, bro, put your phone away. This is not gonna be on anybody's social media. No, we're not doing that. Put it away. And he said, and the food that they was going to be serving afterwards, we're not doing that, so there ain't gonna be no food. And then they're like, so they were shocked and disappointed at the same time. Ain't no wedding and no food? What? Yeah. And Wayne's like, I don't even know what's going on. I mean, this ain't me. He wouldn't be a part of something like that. But basically, no wedding, no food. Y'all go home, get out. Everybody's getting up and they're leaving and everything else like that. And basically, that's how the video ended. Now, fast forward to today. Currently, because this was apparently about a year ago, right? So, here come my questions. Right. So like I said, I had been hearing about this wedding, but never knew exactly what went on until today. So I am beyond shooketh. I am beyond shocked. Speechless. As speechless as I can be. Anyway, so here's my questions. And this is what in my revelations or reflections on this, okay? So now we're currently in the situation of the Amber, Anthony, and Shayla thing where Amber and Anthony are married, but he's sleeping with her best friend Shayla and could possibly be the father of Shayla's baby. And everybody's finding out tids and bits and everything like that, and gesticulating. Is that his baby? All that's going on now, right? But my thing that I thought about as soon as I saw that video, it was like, wait a minute. Anthony and Shayla have been throwing this worn out raggedy card about, you slept with Wayne before our wedding. You slept with Wayne the night before our wedding. You, Amber, slept with Wayne the night before our wedding. And she did. Okay, I'm not saying she was good for that. I'm not saying, nope, none of that. But she did. Okay, well, here's my question. When he stood up in front of that whole church and told Ro he loved her while his wife was sitting right there, was this before he found out she slept with Wayne? Okay? Because apparently they were already married, and then Shayla, who realized that her original plan to get Anthony wasn't working, dropped the bomb on Amber and told that little dirty secret. Okay? You're my little secret. Anyway, so was he clueless as to what happened between Amber and Wayne at that time? And this is what prompted him to stand up and tell Ro he loved her at her wedding to another man because he knew that she had slept with Wayne? That's a question. There's got to be at least one good person in this group who is a Country Wayne fan who knows the answer to that question. I gotta know. Okay, if so, it still don't make no sense and it is no excuse, all right? If not, did you just stand up in somebody else's wedding, tell that woman you loved her while your wife was sitting next to you with no justification whatsoever? What in the world? Okay, now, here's another question. With Anthony now throwing that card out when everybody says, man, why you do this to Amber? How could you do this to Amber? When Amber asked, how could you do this to me? What did I do to you? That's the only thing he could say. You slept with my business partner. Okay. Like I said, and she womaned up to it. But apparently he had let her believe everything was okay. We're done. Forget. Let's move forward. We love each other. Build this family, right? Now you want to keep throwing that card in her face. Actually, I'd be like, okay, yeah, Ann. You knew this. Did you know this when you started sleeping with Shayla? Because they had already had their little one-night stand or two-night stand or whatever, and he realized that he was doing something wrong against Amber and decided to tell Shayla that, we can't do this no more. It's over. And that's when she dropped that little bomb. She ain't as perfect as you think she is because she slept with Wayne the night before y'all got married. Okay? And I think that's when I came in because the next thing I know, he's staying with Ro. Okay? So maybe all this happened after the wedding, the sleeping with Wayne. I don't know. But then here's another question. Even at this point, with Amber knowing she slept with Wayne and she knows that Anthony knows she slept with Wayne and they were supposed to be making this work, she was at that wedding. Okay? Why is it that you didn't see that red flag? This man just stood up in somebody's wedding and said, I love you. And it wasn't to you. It was to the woman getting married. And yet you stayed married to him. Just like he stayed married to you after seeing Wayne. After hearing about Wayne. In my book, that was a wash. I wouldn't have been. If this happened, look, it doesn't really matter when it happened for either side. If he was so upset that he's going to continue to use this card against her, he never should have went back with her. He should have told, look, I just can't get past this. It's over. I'm done. You slept with Wayne. I just cannot get past that. Nobody would have faulted him for that. Okay? Now, if this happened after the Ro wedding, dude, you shouldn't have been married to Amber in the first place. Amber shouldn't have married you because you just stood up in the church and professed your love for another woman while your wife was sitting next to you. And yet still, she stayed married to you. Whether you knew about Wayne or not, she stayed married to you. Y'all shouldn't have been married. Somebody said, I think it was Brittany asked, did she really love Anthony? And she said she loved her husband. She really did love her husband. And I believe that there was a part of her to do. But after seeing their wedding today, How is it that y'all even got married or stayed married after that point? Because I would have been going home and I would have met you at the door like this. Bam. Slam a ring on the thing saying, get the hello out. Okay? And if it was after you knew about Wayne, you know what I would have told him? You know what? We're even. I slept with Wayne the night before we got married. Okay? You just stood up in front of a whole church full of folks and professed your love for the bride while I'm sitting right next to you. None of that is forgivable. Who can forget that? Every time I set eyes on Ro, I will remember you standing up in that church. Just like every time you set eyes on Wayne, you're getting a vision you just don't need, okay? We don't need to be married because that's the kind of luggage, that's that sturdy kind of luggage that you just can't leave in the luggage area, okay? What? So somebody answered me. When did this wedding take place? Was it before the Wayne revelation for Anthony or after? All right. And if it was before the Wayne revelation, what made her stay? I just can't. Those two secrets, none of this. But you know what? I guess if they had separated and went their separate ways, there wouldn't be an Amber, Anthony, and Shayla skit rather. Because if Amber had gone her way, ain't no telling who she would have ended up with. Mike, an ex, Wayne, an ex, or somebody completely new. You know what I mean? But she stayed with Amber and she brought along the little trifling best friend, Shayla. Okay? So I guess the more I think about it, it might have happened before Anthony found out about Wayne, but I want to know for sure. Did this happen? Did Rose's wedding happen before Anthony found out about Wayne, or after? I gotta know. I gotta know. Somebody has to know the answer to that. So I'm just thinking this puts a bigger or a different light on the whole Amber, Anthony, and Shayla situation because they both did wrong. They both did wrong, did each other dirty. Okay? And yet and still, they were married. They're married at this point. Okay? Now, I would say the very first wrong, oh my God, because I don't know when the wedding thing happened, but as far as the Amber, Anthony, Shayla scenario, he done slipped up, drunk up, or whatever with Shayla. And then his conscience got the best of him. But Shayla wasn't having none of that because she already had a plan. And she was going to get her man, even though he wasn't her man to get, okay? So that was going to happen. He'd already made that mess. So he had like 2 mistakes, or 1.5, if you will, because depending on when he professed his love for Ro at the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, that was mistake number 2. And Amber, of course, made the big one because when she messed with Wayne, she was still going out, engaged, or whatever to Anthony. So that should never have happened anyway. Okay? Like I said, she womaned up. The difference between the two, not that it's a big difference, but it is a difference, is that she womaned up. She told the truth. She put it out there, but she wanted to fight for her man. She let him know that. He, on the other hand, is still lying to everybody who happens to talk to him about it. Okay? No, we only messed around a couple of times. No, that's not my baby. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I messed around. That was wrong and everything, but I ain't gonna put no baby on the blah, blah, blah. Liar, 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 liar. Pants. Your pants ain't on fire. They burnt to ashes. They're ashes. Okay. So I am blown away by that video. But it kind of answers some more questions, but then it just leads to more questions. So what y'all know about that wedding, how it actually plays into this Amber, Anthony, Shayla thing, because I need a win. I need to know when this happened. Okay, before Wayne and Amber did their thing, the wedding, or after. You know what I'm saying? But in any case, they don't need to be married. One or the other one should have separated. Right? Either after it was found out, he should have left. He can't deal with it because ain't nobody expecting you to deal with it. I don't think Amber expected him to deal with it, but she just wanted it to be known she's going to be honest going forward. I want to do this, and she took her vow seriously. I will say that from that moment on, from the moment she said I do, she said, Wayne, who? It was all about Anthony and her family, right? And Anthony, on the other hand, nah, nah, nah. Because even at this point, if she decides that she's going to try to make her marriage work, right, it's still going to be based on lies because he ain't told her the truth yet. Yet. Okay? They have a history of forgetting the dirty laundry, is what it sounds like. Okay. And I'm like, wow, it just puts a whole different spin on this. It doesn't make either one of them good people. And I'm still Team Amber. How about that? But, yeah, no. So y'all, if you're a fan, if you're a Kountry Wayne fan, and you watch the Kountry Wayne skits, and you are familiar about the timeline as far as Rose's wedding to Malachi, let me know, because it'll help a little bit, at least me. Kind of put this together. Like I said, nobody is good in this one. Nobody's coming out squeaky clean or anything else like that. Especially Shayla. She's still dirty. But yeah. It's like when you wash a load of white clothes and some of them come out squeaky white the way they're supposed to, and because of the normal wear and tear of some of the whites, they're not as white as they should be. They're the dingy socks that you now have to replace with some white socks. You know which ones. My dingy whites are the ones I walk around in the house in now. I know I'm not the only one. But you know what I'm saying. So yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, some of them are dingy. Some of them white. I'm just saying. So y'all let me know. And in the meantime, in between time, please be patient with me as we do this transition, because apparently once your president gets back back into the office, there's going to be a lot of executive orders. One supposedly being an extension on the ban, or maybe not doing the ban at all. I don't know what the future holds for the TikTok app. I would like for it to come back because I'm a fan. Okay, but in the meantime, between time, yes, I will be doing my Kountry Wayne skits, and I'm apparently, unless I can figure out another way to do it and bypass it to put it on my YouTube page, I got to put it on my YouTube page and then assign it to a playlist. So this is going to be in the Kountry Wayne playlist, but maybe this will help you guys get involved, because I'm telling you, y'all missing out. It's one of the best online series since Risa Tisa and Who the Blank Did I Marry? Y'all remember that one? That one was amazing. Okay, 70 parts. So I'm going to stick this in the playlist. I'm going to go ahead and finish my Sunday because I was blown away. And I may come back later with a compilation, maybe tomorrow, of getting caught up on what I know currently is happening in the Amber, Anthony, and Shayla world, so that I don't bombard you with it all at once. Because when we was over on TikTok, we do 2-3 videos a day, and then, people were... That's how that community, we love that. And I'm not sure how that's going to be taken here. I'm just keeping it real, transparent even, if you will. So y'all, continue to love me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your Sunday. We're expecting a little bit of snow, but I don't know if we're going to get much snow. Right now, there's nothing going on in my area. I'm in the DMV. But I did put my little windshield guard up there just in case, because I ain't trying to shovel or scrape no snow off or whatever, or have my husband do it because it's cold outside. So y'all enjoy your Sunday. Stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you next time right here on TKTV. Bye.